I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I was born in Lima, Peru. Moved out to California when I was 3. With my family, I wasn't like an ambitious ass baby. Like, see you later, mom. I got dreams. We came here on a tourist visa. We came here on vacation. And we're just not done sightseeing yet. So I grew up undocumented, or illegal, depending on which news station you watch. When we first moved here, to San Francisco in the Fillmore district, which when I was a kid there in the 90s, it was a black neighborhood. Not really the case anymore. It's been gentrified. I have conflicted feelings about gentrification because, like, obviously, when it comes to my migration here to this country, I have, like, liberal views on immigration. Yet, when it comes to white people moving into my own neighborhood, I'm like, we have to build a wall. And it's weird telling people I'm from Peru because they get so excited. They're like, oh, tell me all about it. And that's when I have to bum them out. Be like, actually, you know, I grew up undocumented, you know. Like, I left when I was 3 and, like, haven't been able to go back. And they're still like, yeah, but, like, have you been to Machu Picchu? Growing up, English wasn't my first language, so I had a hard time understanding, like, common phrases and how they were used. Like the phrase, we'll see about that. Because when you break that phrase down, all it means it's happening. It's coming in the future. But you can't say we'll see about that, like, in a non-threatening manner. Like if a friend comes up to you and is like, oh, yes, I'm 6 months pregnant, and the baby's due in March. It's like, yeah, we'll see about that. Like, like what? It's like, what? You have a baby? To explain my immigration status now, I have DACA, which just got repealed, which means if legislation doesn't pass soon, I'm going to lose my driver's license, work permit, and be vulnerable to deportation. Yeah, it's my new Tinder bio right now. People in my situation are referred to as dreamers. Like, I don't know, for me personally, like, I was 3 when I came here. Like, I didn't have any dreams. I was barely conscious. Like, my parents were the ones with the dreams coming here. Until I killed their dreams and became a stand-up comic. Joke's on them, right? So yeah, it's been scary times. The way I describe it to people when they ask me how it's going, this is the first time in my life where I've ever had the thought of, like, well, maybe I should lose weight. Because it just feels like at some point in the next couple of years, I'm going to have to, like, run. or climb a fence or something. Gotta do something. I don't know. I was scared after the election. I immediately looked for a lawyer to see what my options are. It was so hard to find a lawyer. Like, because I would call around different offices, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, Johan, come on in to our office. It'll just be $250 for the consultation. I'd be like, I'm not that scared of getting deported, you know? Yeah. And I finally found someone that would talk to me for free. And the lawyer, she asked me, oh, so how did you come to this country? And I told her, you know, we came here on a tourist visa. And she was like, that's great news. That means if you ever do get married, it'd be much easier for you to get a green card as opposed to if you had crossed the border through Mexico. It's just good to know that even at my most vulnerable point in life, I still have some level of privilege, you know? Like, I didn't cross the border. I snuck into this country on a plane like royalty. I called my brother soon after because he's a citizen through marriage now, and I told my brother, I was like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. And at first, my brother was sympathetic, but then he started chastising me. He was like, you know, Johan, you should have gotten married by now. Like, if you got married already, you wouldn't be dealing with any of this. And that's when I had to explain to my brother, like, I just haven't found that special someone that like I feel like a strong connection with, and I can imagine building a future with. And my brother was like, "You see, Johan, that's your problem, is you're thinking like an American." He has a. I gotta give it to him. He has a point. Like, it's like I'm still dating. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's crazy to know that like marriage is the only thing that can save me right now, and I'm still like, yeah, I just don't want to define us. Like, can we take it slow? I don't know. I read 2 articles recently back to back, and I had an idea. I don't know if you guys will like it. We'll see. The first article said it costs taxpayers $1.5 million every time the U.S. government uses an airstrike overseas. The second article I read right after that said undocumented immigrants paid $13 billion in taxes last year. So what I was thinking a good pro-immigrant commercial could be is undocumented immigrants helped pay for over 8,000 airstrikes last year. I don't know. For me, the hardest part of this whole thing is like having to go to protests. I'm not good at, like, cause I'm still trying to find, like, I'm just recently politically active. You know, I'm still trying to find my voice in, like, I don't know what my opinions are. Like the most popular hashtag with undocumented activists right now is hashtag undocumented and unafraid, which is like a badass slogan, right? But for me, like, you know, sometimes I'm afraid. I'm not that radical. So what I was wondering, like, how could I personalize the slogan for me, you know? And the best I could come up with, and this, maybe I'll rock this in the next protest, is undocumented and uncircumcised. Just so everyone's confused, like, what is he protesting exactly? Pick your battles, bro. Like, I don't know. Anytime I hear debate about immigration, something I always hear is like, well, what about legal immigrants? You know, they waited their turn. Why should illegal immigrants get to cut in line? Which is a fair point, but I like to make the argument that illegal immigrants are more American than legal immigrants. Because let's put it in perspective. What's more American? Waiting in line? Groveling for your rations? Or just being a badass American going where you're not supposed to go? Like there's nothing more American than taking what's not yours. You know, like, isn't that why we celebrate Thanksgiving? As an undocumented kid growing up, I didn't have any role models. Like, there's no like famous undocumented anything. Like, as a kid, I wish we had like an undocumented superhero to look up to. You know, like a superhero that like fought crime, but like had to leave before the police came. The police are like, it's great that he's fighting crime, but he's taking our jobs. Anyways, that's been all for me. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.